Alright, swapped over to the new router. Let me pull up the chat real quick. Always forget. I don't expect to be streaming at 8 p.m. EST very often. I just really need to get this stuff working. I think it was yesterday or the day before, I was planning on streaming. I didn't because I didn't have internet, because I was working on swapping it from the old router to the new router. And that's basically all I did. I spent like a very long time trying to get it to work. Apparently, and I should have known this was the case, after updating the router twice from a 8-year-old version of Juno S, the configuration's different, but of course the configuration wasn't reset, so it was still using a configuration from, however you would configure it 6 years ago. And so I could not get this thing to work until I realized that I should probably reset the configuration to what the new version wants as default. And apparently that worked. I just tested it for the first time 5 minutes ago, and I have internet. So kinda cool. Slightly cool. Actually, very annoying. I'm kind of surprised that it did that, but now I know. Second, yes. Okay. Should be able to go to this guy now. No. Okay. So we have not... We're not completely done trying to fix this. Oh, I'm going to finish what I was looking at, though, which is making sure the backup Juno S version is the same as the current. So now that I've updated to the latest... Oh, I think it's Snapshot. I think it's request system snapshot. Slice alternate, right? Alternate. I am 99% sure that was it, but we will double check. Oh. Oops. I need to middle click. Yeah, doing stuff like that always scares me. Why didn't you copy it? Because if I control C... Oh, it did. Okay. Now I can just paste. No. Oh my goodness. It'd be faster at this point if I just typed it right out. Your system boot off backup partition. Your system will automatically start copying the backup partition over your old primary, which is damaged if it booted off backup. don't know if I actually want that, though. Probably not. I'd rather do that manually, I think. Oh, forgot to check that my audio is decent. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think I forgot to plug in my dehumidifier again. I think I haven't had a... I mean, it's been cold the last... Actually, yeah, it's been cold. It doesn't seem too humid down here, but I do need to remember to plug that back in. Because it is loud. Very loud. So I can't have that running and try to stream at the same time. Doesn't work. So that'll just kind of do its thing. Once I get the fundamentals of my network functional, I'm gonna go back upstairs and do more interesting stuff. Hopefully, slightly more interesting stuff. This is going to take a while. Oh, probably could have done that later. Oh well. I had 5 giant frozen egg rolls for dinner. I mean, I put them in the oven, obviously, but just, freezer egg rolls. They were pretty good. It was like $4. So, it works out to like 80 cents an egg roll. Oh, 75 cents an egg roll. So, I didn't need to cook up all 5 of them. But the packaging, it was once you open it, you can't reseal it. I really could have just gotten a different bag. And then wouldn't have had to eat all 5 of them. That last one was pretty tough because they're giant. I got through it. Pretty good with hot sauce. I don't have anything to dip them in. I didn't think about that when I bought them. They just looked good, so I bought them. They seemed cheap enough. Yeah, so all I had was Frank's Red Hot. It worked. Alright. We got that. Let's see what needs to change. So this is using a mostly reset configuration. So we gotta change this to something else. Also, I'm thinking about going back to TrueNAS. instead of Proxmox. It was just a thought. Proxmox has been bothering me. I don't think I can get there yet. Probably. I do have to include the port. Oh, I do have it right here, actually. But this is old. You're going to be one. What are you? What's that? Okay. So the .0 network is currently non-existent, I don't think. We got a proper NTP server configured as well. This is new. This the certificate authority profiles. Those weren't there before. I don't know if that's what caused the internet to just start working, because before I configured the SRX 320 to basically mimic what I had before on my 220, but like obviously doing it in a way that was appropriate for the newer version of the software or firmware, whatever you want to. It's the system calls it software. I mean it's kind of firmware because it's an appliance, but it's like it's also software. But it's more firm than soft, I suppose. Either way, this looks very similar. And the only thing that wasn't working using the old config was devices on my local network could not route out. Right? So the network was working, except I couldn't ping my public IP address from a device on the VLAN, but from the router itself I could. So I was getting an address from my modem assigned to the WAN interface, right? And that was functional. I could resolve DNS, I could ping, right? But then devices on my network couldn't use it for some reason. That's how I knew it was a router issue. This is also new, but this is just for logging purposes, right? This is the same. This is like, it's all the same. Like, nothing's actually changed. Which is why I'm not sure why it's working now. No, I'm sorry. This was new. This is probably why, if I had to guess. I don't know why it wasn't required in an older version of the firmware. This is, yeah, see right here, right? So it wasn't necessary before, but for some reason, several years later, I guess this is needed. And yeah, everything else is all the same. Okay. Okay. So I am going to. That doesn't work here. I am going to. I think it's 1.1 actually. I think I can still just hit it like this. Yeah. That's a big question mark. It's a big loading symbol. I don't like that. I do not like that. I do not like that. I do not like that. Nope. Nope. Okay. Ooh. I did not like that. That kind of shit. I don't like that kind of shit. Okay. It had better never. Well, I don't care if it does that again, because ideally this is the last time I interact with JWeb, because I'm only here for the CLI editor, because this is just so convenient, and I have to like spam the tab and the question mark key for several hours when I can just copy whole blocks. When I can just come down here, because I want another one of these. Copy, paste, one. Okay, so here's the other thing is that, so the other thing is that Proxmox does not let me use VLAN 1 on the bridges. Right. Which I guess I could do without, because I feel like I shouldn't have VMs on there, but I'd want to put VMs on there, right? There's no reason why I wouldn't want to do that. I don't need multiple. I guess I gotta think about this shit again. So zero's the management network. It's probably like it might have a VM on it, probably not. Just definitely not, and it's not going out to the internet. Like we were doing with VLAN. Oh, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do this, and then what did I did cat? We are going to nano. And then, can I page down? Yes. And we'll grab this block of text. Boom. Does this use spaces? Yeah. 4 white spaces. Boom, 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 boom. 1. So I wouldn't be able to put. So VLAN 1 is the network that has internet access will probably end up it would be behind the VPN. I actually no. I kind of want. Well. So what I'm thinking. So here's what I'm thinking. most of my servers, most of my virtual machines are going to be on a default deny network, where I have to manually open the, I shouldn't say open the ports, I should say, or write the firewall rules to enable that communication, right? But I don't want to have to open up firewall rules for every single computer on my network that needs internet access, right? Right, there needs to be an internet somewhere that I can just go access. And generally speaking, that would only be here at the server rack. It wouldn't really be anywhere else, right? And none of my virtual machines, I wouldn't really want my virtual machines to just, have unfettered access to the internet. It's just not necessary. It's also less secure, right? I think default deny is just like the best way to secure your network, like full stop. Like, I could patch every single little potential flaw in a given operating system or piece of software, or I could just deny all communication. That's not what I want. With the downside of having to manually allow every single application and protocol and port manually, which I'm willing to do. So, of course, I don't only want to have unrestricted internet access here. That's the other thing. Right. Google is very useful. It is a very useful tool. I just don't like the idea of that very useful tool being everywhere. Should be in certain places. It's kind of like having a toolbox. But imagine if instead of putting your hammer in your toolbox, you had a hammer in your toolbox, and you had a hammer in the refrigerator, and you had a hammer in your pocket at all times, and you had a hammer, in your bedroom, like in your bed. You had a hammer in your closet. You had a hammer like on top of your washing machine and dryer. You had a hammer in your car. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Right? I see Google the same way. That asshole does not need to be everywhere. I just don't need that tool everywhere, in every room, It's just kind of silly. So, trying to make sure that, the hammer is in my toolbox and nowhere else. Trying to make sure that the Google is at my server rack and only the places where I need it most. Like, I don't want to program sitting here at my... I mean, like, I could, but I don't want to. Like, the screen's big enough, right? I just don't really... Well, you see, I'd have a virtual machine for that, but also But for certain programs, I need a graphics card. And I do have a slot. I've got a half-height slot in that 2U Proxmox server, right? So I can have one virtual machine, Or, really, I can just have a graphics card in there and then reconfigure whichever virtual machine I want to use at the time, or I can just have graphics card enabled virtual machines. I can have as many of them as I want, but then I just spin up, the one that I'm using at that time. So I can have have a Windows Server installation with a graphics card, and then I can also have like a Linux, like a Debian install that just has drivers ready to go. And I have them both configured to use the card, but only one of them can start at once, I don't know how much of a pain it would be to reconfigure that each time. But honestly, I think if I were dealing with, if I needed a graphics card, I think I would only have one single virtual machine use it anyway. I think it would just be a Windows Server box, and it would have a graphics card. I just don't know if I want to sit. Like, this chair is, maybe if I can sit up. This chair is not comfortable. It's like, it's okay. It's got a nice bounce to it. But that has no impact on how comfortable it is to sit in. And after being here for like 3 hours, my legs start to hate me. Unfortunately. I think it needs it's a pretty old chair. It needs new padding. Because I think this chair in its past life was sat in a lot. I got it from the Purdue surplus store. Actually, I got 2 of them, actually. So yeah, pads are worn out. They're not as comfortable as they probably used to be. So, anyway. So, odds are I would want a VM on this network. You know what? You know what we're gonna do? Oh, damn. Actually, no. Because that network needs to be... I'm trying to think of what network does not need virtual machines. It is not 0, because I can't do 0 and I can't do 1. I don't know why I can't do 1. Right, like, this isn't that hard, right? This number does not matter at all. It literally doesn't matter what it is. It can be any number from 2 to 4094. But like, my brain doesn't want to pick, like, just some number. This is the upper limit of the range that I can use. So like I could do like 510, right? At that point I would do like 510, 511 or something. I don't know. Dude, no frickin' way. That's brilliant. Oh, I'm a genius. I'm actually a genius. Boom. Just start at 10. 10, 11. That was the wrong key. Copy, paste. 12. So this is great. So this one is going to be no internet. It's going to be local, and it's going to have virtual machines on it. What do we call it? Local. VLAN local. I think that's good. Short, sweet, kind of to the point. I think it's descriptive enough. Like, VLAN offline is... Nah, it's not... Sounds weird. It doesn't have a ring to it. VLAN Trust is going to be the one that has internet. You know, because like Trust and Untrust are pretty typical firewall naming conventions for networks. You know, in front of the firewall, behind the firewall. You know, this is where we're actually going to have firewall rules. So this is going to be the default deny network. So yeah, so we'll start with right. We're getting more and more open. So VLAN Trust is going to be a default deny, and then and then VLAN like open, because there's no rules. It's just like anything goes. What's a better word for that? Unrestricted? But that's kind of long. Unrestricted. It's like 4 syllables. And long to type. And we've already set a precedent, sort of, with MGMT local trust being 4 to 5 characters. So it probably shouldn't be more than 5 characters. So I like VLAN open. Yeah, that's good. VLAN open. Alright, we have our VLANs. PoE interface. All, I guess, is fine. It's auto-negotiated. I can just leave it as all. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Propagate settings here. So with this is pool DHCP open. Open on 3, right? And we'll do standard 10 to 254. 3.1. I gotta make sure I still have internet. So we're gonna go only about this far. Range DHCP open. Copenhagen. Range DHCP open. That's good. Make sure we have all the interfaces we need. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. 3, 1, 2, 3. That's good. Still don't know what D10 does. I have no idea. Try that again. Interface fundamentals. Let's learn about interfaces. Next. So we've got Loopback, Ton, Eth, Su, Burr, Y. Discard interfaces. Might be that. DSC. Okay, so that's cool, but it's not D10. I don't want to read all this. This is too much reading. Just tell me what D10 is. Ugh. I have to answer it like a fucking Jeopardy question. Why won't you give me something useful? No, it doesn't. See, this is why my search results are bad, right? Because this is what determines what they're going to show me, right? And this idiot thinks it's a specific release of the Juno OS operating system, and the results is all this bullshit. That is not what I'm looking for. There's no way nobody's at, or maybe nobody cares. Maybe nobody cares to know what D10 is. Dude, Google, all these search engines are just like, never mind. Never mind. So I just have to click all over the place. G-Box 0. No, it's not that. Alright, I've lost interest. What's this? A VLAN demultiplexing interface. Well, I kind of want to just delete it, but I bet if I do, everything will stop working. I have a feeling. Also, no idea what this is. No clue. I assume these are all okay. But we're going to set all of these to, these are MGMT. They're not, I'm sorry. Nope, these are actually open. These are going to be open for now. Just so I can have internet while I work on stuff. These ones are my management interfaces. And then this guy will be open. This guy will be open. This guy will be open. That's good for now. At some point, this one will be a trunk, because this one goes to Proxmox, so it'll be a trunk with a couple different VLANs. I'll probably end up adding more VLANs at some point. These are just like the base VLANs that I'm gonna have. Actually, I feel like that pretty much covers it. Right? I just have different types based on how the router routes. That probably covers all of my bases. Right. Although if I were to serve content to the internet, I'd probably just still have that in VLAN Trust, right? Or would I create a DMZ? Well, Trust would technically just be a DMZ. So I could call it that. I could say VLAN-DMZ. Though I'm not sure exactly what services I would want to expose to the internet, other than a Minecraft server. And even then, honestly, a Minecraft server would also be exposed to my devices on my network. You know what? I can't think of a single thing that I would want to expose to the internet. I'd probably just do it for shits and giggles, right? Like, just for funsies, like, just have a website. Like, this is my website, lol. And it's just, like, HTTP, and you can, like, look at it, and that's it. I just put, like, dumb shit on it. Yeah, that'd be funny to host my own. And then at some point I'd I'd host other things too. Like a Minecraft server, probably. Honestly, no. I don't want to host that on my local network. I feel like Minecraft is only fun for like the first 5 hours of your game. Like after 5 hours, you're done. It's like you did it. You played Minecraft, and now you're done playing Minecraft. Maybe I'm just an adult. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, if I had some HTML website, it'd probably just end up on VLAN Trust. Well, the server for it would end up there. And then I just port forward. And I just tell the router to go to that one. Yeah, because like most of my stuff is going to be on VLAN Trust. And then VLAN Open will have basically this server right here and one other computer is going to be on VLAN Open. Probably just like, some just some random computer. Because it's all still going to be behind the VPN. And I do want to be able to access the normal internet without having to come down to my server rack. And I also don't want to program at my server rack because that's uncomfortable and weird. So... Thinking about swapping Trust and Open. So DHCP pool for VLAN Open, none for VLAN Management. Interfaces are all on VLAN Open except for 2 and 3, which are management ports, management interfaces for the 2 servers in the rack. And then 0 and 1, which are just going to be VLAN Open for both the servers in the rack. That's how I set it up. I'm like 99% sure that's how I did it. I guess we'll find out. Untrust Zone. See, Untrust Zone has this dude in it. I don't know. Alright, so probably gonna need a security zone for each. So zone... Do I need one for management? For consistency's sake, sure. GMT local. Trust. Open. Two, three. Untrust with the screen. All right. Now we've got our policies. Trust to untrust. This is going to be open policy. open to untrust, where we allow anything. Anything at all. Blowing it wide open. Where anything's allowed out. So anything's allowed out, and then since we're not really using trust yet, we're just gonna do anything from open to open. I feel like I don't need a policy if it's just gonna be open anyway, but I might. So we're gonna permit anything from management to management. Open to open. Wait a minute. This is GT to GT. This is open to open. Wait, whoops. This is open to open. And this guy. Local to local. I mean, may as well just be consistent with it. So management, local, open, and trust. Boom. Let's see. Management, local, trust, open. And then finally, open to untrust. And then management. Interface 0, local on 1, trust on 2, open on 3. And then, alright, that all looks swag. Now, NAT. I do wonder if NAT is going to be... No, NAT would be required still for trust. But we are not going to worry about that right now. You are just going to be open to trust. From zone, open. Rule, source NAT rule. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know enough about source NAT to know how this like then rule works, where it's just like source NAT interface. Like this configuration doesn't make sense to me. I just don't understand it. Source NAT interface, like what interface? Like it just says interface. Does it just mean any interface that's an interface, I guess? Just makes sense to me, right? You're matching your source, so any source. Right, because this is... Yeah. I don't know. No clue. It works. It works somehow. Oh. I feel like there's one thing I'm missing. So open untrust source NAT, untrust screen, PKI. That seems to be it. Our name servers, DHCP. We're gonna say group. And then on management, the only one we have is open. on 3. It's the only one where we have it configured. Yeah, DHCP open. We're going to copy this name, actually. We're just going to steal that, just so it's group. I don't know why it's a group, though. I think that's fine. Web management, I gotta tell it that you can only accept web management on the management VLAN. I'm gonna do that through the CLI to make sure I don't mess up. Because right now I'm only making changes where I'm replicating existing configuration, so I know my formatting is guaranteed to be spot on. Right? So this should work flawlessly. This should do exactly what I want it to. Keyword there is should. So I didn't mess with anything that didn't have to do with just VLAN structuring and then policies allowing communication, like inter-VLAN, not inter-VLAN, just communication on the network. Communication between hosts on the network. And we've got our DHCP pool for the open VLAN. DHCP attributes router 3.1. Yep. Okay, I'm happy with that. No. I do not think so. Get out of my way. Let me copy all the stuff I just did for the last half an hour. No way. I didn't think about that. What a bummer. Well, it shouldn't take as long this time, because I won't be sitting here trying to figure out how I want to organize things. I kind of already know what I'm going to do, so now I'll just do it. But yeah, I thought the timeout. I guess I logged in over an hour ago, because I think the default timeout is like a whole hour. Dang. Well, this time this should not take more than 1 hour, because I already know that I'm going here and I'm changing this to DHCP open. This is going to be 3. The screen will leave. And that source is going to be open to untrust from zone open to zone untrust, and that is okay. Policies is going to be from zone open to untrust. This is open. And that's all we need to do for that one. Oh, okay. but we do need 4 of these, so that way we can say this one is management. I feel like I could just copy and paste. From zone local. And then trust, and then open. And then open to untrust, and then security zones. This guy here is zone open on 3. Security zone untrust is fine as is. Open on 3. Trust on 2. Local on 1. And management on 0. Interfaces. Internal routing bridge interfaces. Can't remember what it actually stands for. It's I know it's routing something. Something routing something, I forgot. I forgot. Integrated router bridge. I don't know, something like that. And I could be funny and use like the I could use the like a /8 or a /16 private address space, but I'm just so used to 192.168, and I also don't even need a /24 that like I don't know. Basically, I still want my network to be here. And so it makes sense for the management to be here and for like the others to just be increments of that, you know. It's like there's really no reason to use anything else. And then DHCP open. And 3. And then the VLAN. Doing this twice was still faster than trying to do all this on the command line. By a mile. Okay, VLAN. Management. VLAN. Those are wrong. VLAN trust is right, but this is 10, 11, 12, 2, 13, 3, open. Alright. I probably didn't miss anything.